What's happening, everybody? Now I'll even give you the introduction. Trucker, you know who. I'm in the building. Yeah, been working all week, so I can't complain. Things have been all right. Hope everything's been all right with you. The purpose of this video today is, and I know there's probably many that do this, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do, and I guess my way shows you, that anybody can do this. This is my first time doing this, but I know the procedure is pretty much straightforward. I haven't watched any videos on this. I'm just going to use my common sense to get this job done. The first thing you want to make sure you do is unload all the air out of your system. Drain your tanks, as well as, I know there's a pressure relief valve right here. I'm going to bleed all the pressure out. Make sure I get all the pressure out of my air system before I begin to start cracking open lines. So hey, follow me on this journey, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace my air compressor on my Caterpillar 3406E. It has a Cat 2-flow 550 air compressor, which, like I thought, is a Bendix product. So let me go ahead now, grab my tools, and we're gonna get this together. One piece of advice I will add in for this and any other things like this, like your reservoir and everything else, make sure you take pictures and notes on how all your fittings are positioned, so whenever you put your fittings back in there, you line everything else up correctly. So let me go ahead and grab these tools here and my gloves, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so we got coolant line off here off, coolant line down here off. We got the two the charge and the discharge lines off right there. We got the oil line off. I'm pretty sure it has to be a 6 line. I've gotten 5 off so far. Maybe the 6th one I may not be able to see. I'm not too sure. I will find out. Also, to add to this, the coolant lines were a 22 millimeter. The discharge and charge lines, those were both 1 inch, and the one oil line right here was a 14 millimeter. So I'm going to now go ahead and figure out what size bolt I need for what size socket I need to get this nut off, these 3 nuts off. Word of advice, you see I have a drain in here. Drain your coolant first. Yeah, so you don't have a big mess. Thankfully I have some drain pans to catch it, but I was hoping that I could pull the lines up, and keep it from, draining out. No, not happening. Yeah, the pressure, well, not pressure, but gravity takes its course. Blase, blase, skip. So I'm gonna now go ahead and figure out what size socket I need to get these 3 nuts off, so I can pull this compressor off. So give me 1 second here. Alrighty. Alright guys, just wanted to show you, got one of the nuts and the washers off already, as you guys can see right here on this stud. Now initially I said you can use 19 millimeter. It grabs it nice and snug. Currently you know how it is when you have tools and you misplace stuff, but 19 millimeter will get the back one off. I'm actually running 11/16 right now on there. You guys can see I use 2 extensions and my 1/2 inch drive ratchet with the swivel neck. So yeah, I'm gonna get this one off, and then, like I said, I'm gonna get this one off here at the bottom. Not too much to really show you guys regarding that. I mean, hey, you guys are smart if you're doing this rather than me, because I don't have my head mount or my chest mount. So I lost my head mount. I need to buy me a chest mount too. But use your imagination. It's really simple. Extensions, find the best avenue to get to the nut you need to get to. So mine, I went in this side, and the bottom one, I'm pretty sure I'll probably feed it around, hopefully this way, come straight in there and go that way. If not, I may have to play around with my different extension sizes to get what I need to get, so I can get my ratchet right about here and turn it off. So let me go ahead now and finish getting these nuts off, and I'll be back to you with it off. All right, so you guys know I couldn't leave you hanging on that one. This is how I got to the bottom bolt. Got my socket. Looks like probably about, I'm gonna say, maybe about a foot extension. This if you have a 3406 with the this fuel distribution block right here. I know some of the C15s don't have this issue, but this I believe they don't, from what I've seen. But 1/2-inch drive ratchet right there. Put your hand up under here and ratchet away. Alrighty, just want to show you guys that. Let me go ahead and get this compressor off. Okay, y'all. So I know I said I would have the compressor off. Ran into one issue. I'm gonna show you guys how to get around that. So, took the lines off the governor. Now, like I said, we have this fuel distribution block. So here's what happens. With this block right here, you're not gonna be able to pull this out when it's sitting in its normal location. So what I did was, all the other lines on here are flexible, except for this one right here that goes over here to the fuel filter base. So what I did was I broke it loose off of here, and I cracked it loose over here so I could swivel and swing the line because it was binding up on here. Now I can slide this back, I can maneuver this out the way and get the compressor out now. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So now let me go ahead and officially get the compressor out of here. All right, guys, so without further ado, Sal's will come back to you guys with everything correct. Here's what it looks like now with the air compressor out the way. So you guys can see here, there goes the 3 studs. I'm gonna clean those up really nicely while this is off. Also, this right here is wet. I believe that's for the power steering pump, but that is currently wet, but that's only wet because of all the coolant and penetrating oil that spilled on it. So what I'm going to do is, if you're meticulous like me, while I have this time off, I'm going to cover this hole up, seal this off. I'm gonna get me some degreaser and I'm gonna clean all this up. I hate that. That looks disgusting to me. It looks trifling. I have an engine that does not leak at all, and I like to keep it looking nice and clean. You know, this is just dirt and crud from over the years. But I'm gonna get all this stuff off of here. My case, this beauty cover right here is cracked, so I'm gonna go ahead and break this and just pull this off right here. But yeah, there she is off. Here is, here is what it looks like now. So, yep, I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna get my spacer plate off. This fitting wouldn't this fitting right here would not break free. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and run a little heat to this one, get all these fittings off, remember where they belong, and get this ready because, ooh, y'all, let me tell you something. The core on these, at least at the dealer, now, your pricing on these should be anywhere between, I'd probably say, $450 to, $800, maybe $9, depending on where you get it from. I know some guys, they got some aftermarket places. You got some places, where you can get them for less. Some people, some people say, hey, you go to Cat, you're just paying for the yellow paint because it's still a Bendix product. I don't really know. I just know that the core on this sucker is $1,700, but where I looked at it at, it's like almost $900 at the dealer at Cat. Now I can go to other places and find it for cheaper. I found it online for at one place was like $600, another place was $700, another place was like $550. So just do your due diligence and match everything up, make sure it's the correct model that you have and what you're supposed to have. Me personally, I'm going the dealer route only because I know it's right here. So if I have any issues, with getting a crappy part, I can just immediately take it off and take it right back to the dealer and get that remediated versus having to send it back in somewhere and wait for one to get sent back, and how it goes. So yeah, so that's about all there is to it for right now. That's how you do this procedure, and like I showed you guys, you'll see installation is completely reversed of what I showed you guys. It's very simple. so easy, a monkey could do it. So don't be intimidated. Save yourself the time and labor if you can. And if not, hey, it's nothing wrong with it. So, show you guys that one last time. Remember, move the field distribution block. That way you can lift it up on out of there. And that's all there is to it. So, thank you guys for stopping in and checking in. And I hope this may be of some help to you guys. One last thing I want to add to you guys. So, on your compressor, there is something called a spacer plate, okay? I'm gonna show it to you. So right here, this is their compressor. That's the shaft. Where's the key? There's the key on the shaft right there. So, in order to get that off, you're gonna need, I use a 30 millimeter, but take the nut off in here is a nut and a washer. And this right here is your spacer plate. Can't mix it up. The small end fits inside there, so it's directional, and it's got the 2 O-rings that fit inside the grooves on each side. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Now I'm pretty sure I got all the fittings off, so I'm pretty sure this is now ready to go be a core. So let me go ahead and get this thing and get it swapped out. All right, y'all. So, like I said, it's really simple. Installation was the reverse of the procedure I showed you. So let me go ahead and show you guys now the finished product. There we go. Got a new compressor in there, new governor, new fittings. All that blue stuff you see, that's just my pipe thread sealant. I always, anytime you're dealing with any connections, in my opinion, with liquid, air, even with flared fittings, the part that's not flared, because you know the flare fittings like that go on here, I don't worry about it there, but I had to take this one off because this one was just bolted to there. But any area that's not flared, where it has a connection going to it, and you have to thread it in, I always put thread sealant on there. Always. But yeah, this is the finished product. As you guys can see down there, I cleaned up down there. Did a little quick clean to grease that up really quickly. Not a perfect job, but looks a lot better than what it was. Everything's all snugged up and good to go. So yeah, it's a very easy job in my opinion, and it took me probably about, not actual work time, 3 to 4 hours, so it's not too bad at all. And that was with me BSing around and my first time ever doing one. Also have the new spacer plate on there. Total bill on this job was $900 for the compressor, another couple $100 on the spacer plate. I could have probably reused my old one. I just went ahead for the hell of it, went ahead and went with a new one. The spacer plate wasn't in bad shape, but it's aluminum, and I wasn't sure, you know, with me prying it off the old compressor, I didn't have a puller, so I used a screwdriver and a little heat. I didn't know, you know, if I may have distorted the aluminum at all. So for me, rather than take a chance, I just paid the extra. I think it was like 180 something bucks, and bought me the new spacer plate. So yeah, that's about how it goes. But hopefully this video will be helpful to you guys. Like I said, do it yourself if you can afford to do it, and save yourself the money. So thank you guys for stopping in. I'll show you guys that one more time. There it is. No leaks, everything is solid, and thanks for tuning in.